Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts. Just got out of seeing Dark Phoenix. Not X-Men Dark Phoenix, Dark Phoenix. Um, okay, quick thoughts. I am going to get into a little bit of spoilers, so if you haven't seen the film, I wouldn't recommend watching this video. Where do I begin? I definitely left disappointed. Now, I walked in leaving all the bad things I've heard and even me liking the trailers or whatever and saying, okay, this might actually be good. Everything I've heard and everything I thought about it being good or bad, I left it all at the door, but I was disappointed. This movie should not have been called Dark Phoenix. It should have been called X-Men Jean! Or something, because this is not even close to the Dark Phoenix story. Simon Kinberg has attempted this before with The Last Stand. No. He actually is able to write it again and direct it and call it Dark Phoenix. And he drops the ball again. Jessica Chastain, I'm not sure what she's doing in this movie because honestly her character was pointless. Jessica Chastain, I like her as an actress. I don't know what she's doing in this movie. I felt bad for her because at times I'm like, she's completely useless. She's just the leader of this group that's been following the entity that has now absorbed itself into Jean. I felt bad because there was nothing. She did nothing in this movie. Sophie Turner, right? Is that her name? Jean Grey. I didn't like her performance. At times I'm like, okay. But most of it, no. The only good parts of this, of course, Professor X again, James McAvoy, and Michael Fassbender as Magneto. He's barely in the movie, like, because the first half he's not in it at all for the most part. You could tell Jennifer Lawrence just wanted to be done. She wanted to be done with Apocalypse, but they brought her back again. And then you see, they hinted in it, and it's confirmed in the trailers what happens to her character. There's a hair mutant. Dreadlocks? What the fuck? What in the... Okay. I feel bad because this is the end of the era. This is the end of the Fox X-Men, and they end on this note. The action scenes, for the most part, were pretty solid. They weren't amazing. The special effects were pretty solid as well, but the story they were telling, which was not even close, like, I'm fine with them attempting the Dark Phoenix saga because at some point that has to be adapted. And I understand that when you adapt something, it's not going to be the exact thing from the comics. I understand that. But when this is your second attempt and you're titling this movie Dark Phoenix, I expect more similarities. I expect more. And maybe the idea is like, oh, hey, well, it's more focused on Jean Grey and her becoming this new version of herself, and we're going to call it Dark Phoenix. No. And the way the movie ends too, it's like, no, there's no continuation. I mean, come on. Maybe I'm not really sure why the movie. I know that critics destroyed it for the most part. I'm wondering if audiences were like, well, it doesn't matter what happens in this movie because there's no continuation with this version of the characters. I really hope that some of these actors get a second chance, not essentially to replay the characters in a reboot MCU version of X-Men, but I hope some of these actors can fold into the MCU as new characters and be brought in within a couple years. I would love to see Jessica Chastain as somebody in the MCU, because what they give her in this is terrible. And I really hope that Michael Fassbender and James McAvoy come into the MCU or even to the DC side as some other character. I think that'd be great because I really like these actors. I just feel bad that this is their last hoorah and it just kind of falls down the toilet. Yeah, it's to me, no. This is not a good film. I'm even sitting there going, Jesus Christ, like they couldn't get a better take of that. The one F-bomb, just the way it's delivered, it's just like, it's so sudden. But yeah, I don't like the film. There's some moments I think overall is okay. Like I said, some of the action is solid, but and special effects. But I mean, the story is bland. The villains, there's no reason to have Jessica Chastain in this movie because she doesn't do anything. When I heard she was casted and they were promoting it the hell out of it, I'm like, okay, she's gonna have a pretty major part. Not really. Not really. But yeah, so I expected more.